Yes, everyone, how are we doing? And welcome to the post-match review for Tottenham Hotspur 0, Manchester City 1. What a game of football that was. And I just want to start this one off by saying how proud I am of the boys today. I tell you what, each and every single blue on that pitch today fought until the end. No matter how difficult of a position it was, because it really was a difficult position. That last 30 minutes, it felt like it was 300 minutes. You know, it was going in slow motion. Tottenham were really sticking on us, really pressing us. It was getting really twitchy towards the end. You know, it just felt like it was going to be a reoccurrence of instances that have happened time and time again this season. But City, they held the bottle. They fought for every battle, every challenge. They celebrated like it was a goal. And I tell you what, the 3 points were well and truly deserved for all the effort that we put in today. Outstanding. Every single player you can't fault. Telling you now, it was a brilliant work rate, brilliant performance, brilliant everything from Manchester City today. And I tell you what, a much needed 3 points, a massive 3 points in the season's race for a top 4 position, a position in the Champions League next season. Because look what it's done for the league table. Nottingham Forest and Arsenal both dropped points. Yeah, Chelsea won yesterday, but Newcastle lost, Bournemouth lost. All the teams around us, results have gone our favour pretty much. And now we're in a position where our next Premier League game, is Nottingham Forest away. Nottingham Forest away. If we win there, we're into third. I tell you what a time to be alive. Now look, let's talk about this game in more detail. It was well and truly a game of two halves. The first half was one of the best first halves of football, if not the best first half of football I have seen from Manchester City this season, especially in an attacking sense. The way we were moving the ball forward freely, passing it around Spurs' defence like they weren't there. The way we were hurting Spurs with our wide players, Doku and Savinho, causing Spurs so many problems in that first half. It was brilliant to see. Doku, for the criticism he got against Liverpool, which I thought was a little bit unfair considering he was probably our best player, our biggest threat. There were people at his neck saying about, no end products. I tell you what, there was end product today. Every dribble, he pretty much finished with a nice ball into the box for Haaland, or a ball into the box for Marmoush, or a shot off on goal, or just wide of the post. I tell you what, Jeremy Doku today was outstanding. And so was Savinho. I know his performance might be a little bit overridden with the fact that he missed an absolute sitter to put us 2-0 up, but do not let that change your mind, or do not let that override the fact that he was outstanding, and he had Udogie on toast today. Had him on toast. So look, that first goal by Manchester City, like I was just on about Jeremy Doku, a brilliant run, beats Porro time and time again, turns him inside out, puts a lovely ball into the box for Erling Haaland. There was a very similar to one that about 5-10 minutes beforehand, Haaland hits it straight to the keeper. This time, no messing about, puts the ball in the back of the net. About 10 minutes into the game, a beautiful start for City, because to be fair, this season we've conceded first quite a few times, so a tricky stadium to go, a tricky team to face, especially for Manchester City, our history there. It was brilliant. Haaland putting us 1-0 into the lead, and we just carried on. We didn't let things go. We didn't let Spurs back into the game. The first half, it was all Manchester City. Like I just said, Savinho missed a sitter to put us 2-0 up. Haaland had chances, Doku had chances, everyone had chances. City, the fact we weren't at least 3 goals up at half-time, I was there saying, look, this is going to come to bite us, because we know what we've been like this season in the second half. We know what we're capable of. We should have killed the game off. And I stand by the fact, even though it was a hard, a gritted win and a deserved win for the efforts we put in, City should have battered Spurs realistically. We should have killed the game off within half an hour of football, but it wasn't to be. It was a well-earned lead to go into half-time, but only 1-0. And then second half, as much as we came out the stronger team for the first 5-10 minutes, slowly but surely it just felt, oh no, you can see Spurs finding a way back into this game. And he did, to be fair. Spurs were probably the better side second half. I'm not too afraid to admit that, even though City did end up scoring a goal that should have stood. We'll get into that a little bit soon. But yeah, Spurs were probably the better team in the second half. They should have scored a goal or two. But Ederson, outstanding. When called upon, made a few big saves, a few decent efforts on goal from Danso, a few decent chances. They had Son, Brennan Johnson, Kulusevski, even Odegaard at the far post. I'm thinking of a few chances here where Ederson came out, made himself big. Sometimes it wasn't even just a save, but just his presence there, coming out, making himself big, scaring the opposition. Ederson today, Again, like I said about Doku, was getting a lot of criticism, and he has had a lot of criticism this season. Not too sure why. I think he's a good goalkeeper, obviously better with his feet, but he's a brilliant goalkeeper still. And yeah, there's been a few times here and there this season that he probably should have stepped up for City a little bit more, but you can say that about the majority of the players wearing blue this season. I'm telling you that now. Ederson today stepped up. Make your plaudits as loud as your criticism. Give Ederson a round of applause after today. I'm telling you now, outstanding. Kept us alive. Kept us alive. And after our last 20 minutes, that felt like 200 minutes, City got into additional time, 4 minutes added on. We've brought on James McAtee, we've brought on Phil Foden, Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish, 150 appearances in a Manchester City shirt. And look, I thought we'd done it, Erling Haaland scored to make it 2-0, just to kill the game off with a minute to go. And we're celebrating in the corner. I'm there, limbs at grandma's, buzzing off my head. And it goes to VAR. Okay, and VAR are checking for a possible handball. And I'm thinking, what? I didn't see a handball. And they slow things down like they do every time. They slow it down in slow motion. And after slowing it down in slow motion, I looked at it and I felt even stronger about the idea that is never, ever enough to rule a goal out. It hit Archie Gray's arm, hit off Archie Gray's arm onto Danso's arm. It rolled down Danso's arm before making even the smallest bit of contact with Erling Haaland. And then he put the ball in the back of the net. Now, if Haaland would have put it wide or something like that, they should be given a penalty there. It should be a penalty for Manchester City. But he didn't. He was calm, he was composed, he was cool in the box, finished it off, ran to the corner, celebrated in style, back from injury, back with style, 2 goals a brace, like the last time he visited the stadium. But of course, VAR had to spoil the party and take away the goal for a handball, which I'm just never ever going to agree with this. To be fair, I think it's the most common opinion that should never have been ruled out. The commentators couldn't believe it, everyone couldn't believe it, the players, Pep, the lot of them. Nobody could believe that was ruled out, but thank God it didn't matter. And we thought it would. Straight after that decision was given against us, there's still, 2 minutes added on to play because of how long the check took. And Tottenham straight away hit us on the attack. And I was thinking, I swear down, if they score from this, I'm going to be hot-headed, I'm going to go mad. But luckily, they didn't. Sarr put it wide, missed a chance. And City held on, and we finished the game victorious. And just speaking about that goal, I've got a few questions to ask here that I'm going to look more into over the next couple of days, and I'm hoping that they release the VAR audio that was said to the referee, because the commentator, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but the commentator was confused because he heard from the VAR box that the referee was told it's not enough to overturn the goal, thinking that obviously the goal's going to be stood. So I'm there thinking, come on, 2-0, see the game out now, we've won. And then I see the free kick for Vicario and I'm thinking, what's going on? The commentators were baffled, everyone was baffled because, like I said, the referee had been told by VAR it's not enough to overturn it. So, why have you given the free kick? Why have you overturned it? Look, if he went to the monitor and had a look, I wouldn't have agreed with his decision, but he's had a look and he's came to the wrong one, but he's made his own decision, but he gave the goal. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like he gave the goal. It's shown it counted on the TV. I didn't see no assistant waving it off. I didn't see anything until the VAR check. So, look, I know it doesn't really matter. It only really matters to Erling Haaland, who could have had an extra goal, an extra ball for the Golden Boot race that he's going to be in with Mohamed Salah. So, I mean, that doesn't really matter too much to City, but it'd just been nice, wouldn't it? A 2-0, an extra reason to celebrate for all them fans that have travelled on a midweek game away to Spurs. It was one that I was looking at. I could have got tickets for this one, and I was just thinking it wouldn't have been possible, because of the travel home. You can't get a train home to Manchester at that time. So you know what it is to the people that have travelled, especially the ones that live in Manchester, have gone all the way to London for this game. The money it must cost, staying over or coming back 4 or 5 in the morning. A lot of respect, an awful lot of respect to you lot. And that's what I'm saying, that second goal should have counted for you just to celebrate that bit extra, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to stop whittering on about the wrongfully disallowed goal and just enjoy this performance, because like I said, proud of the boys today. The effort from whether it was attacking play or when it's gritty and disgusting and just getting a bit of a nasty game towards the end and we're just doing these clinical fouls, or just it was just brilliant, the effort from them all. Proud of them big time. And as always, I want to pick out a few players to talk about, and where better to start than the fella that I speak about after every single game, Viva Kusanov. What a signing what was he, 33, 34 million pounds from Lens? Wow. Honestly, what a defender. He's took everyone by surprise. Because look, he was a player that a lot of us, we didn't know a lot about. You know, when he turned up, seemed like a pretty shy, awkward fella from Uzbekistan, our first ever Uzbek player to play, even in the Premier League, never mind just Manchester City. Didn't speak a word of English. We're thinking how he's going to fit in. We've got a lot of defensive problems. He starts his first game, Chelsea, as a disaster first 10 minutes. We're thinking, bless him. You know, he probably should have been given a little bit more time to settle in, but he's been rushed in because of the problems we've had at the back. But I tell you what, hasn't he just settled in brilliantly? The pace on the fella, the defending on the fella, he fears nothing and no one. He's so good. Think of some of the players he's already came up against. He's been here, 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Vinicius Jr., Kylian Mbappe, Heung-min Son, Mohamed Salah, Luis Diaz. The players that he's came up against. And I tell you what, it's been so rare to see him beaten. On a 1v1, in a duel, anything. Kusanov is outstanding. He is outstanding. And you can just tell, obviously, he's loved by the City fans. But what I love to see is clearly the feeling is mutual. You know, with the players towards him and the way he's fitting. Like, it's just beautiful. You can just sense it just from the outside and listening to Pep speak about him. And even just the facial expressions on Pep's face when he talks about him. Like, he's just loved already. And it's same with Marmoush and it's same with Nico. And I'm sure the time will come with Vita Reyes. But Kusanov has just been a revelation at City defensively. With the problems we've had this season, the injuries we've had to every single one of our centre-halves has been hit with a big injury this season. Akanji out for the rest of the season. Stones time and time again. Diaz has probably missed more games than he's played. Likewise with Nathan Ake. Kusanov's came in, just been a little unit at the back. And I'm in love. I am in love. I also want to spend a brief moment talking about Matheus Nunes. Obviously filling in at right back. It's an unnatural position for him. I mean, we signed him as an attacking midfielder. And he's been, you know, sort of forced at right back because, like I've been going on about the problems we've had at the back as far as injuries and stuff. And now, look, I know it's not ideal, but today I can't fault him that much. Yeah, Spurs did have a lot of fun on that right-hand side, but I felt like he was tucking in and filling in at centre-half a lot of the time because we were just being overloaded with that Spurs attack, the way that they press and everything. So, of course, they were going to get at us very intensely. And I tell you what, I can't really fault him that much. Yeah, he might have been out of position at times, but he always recovered quite well. He made a few big interceptions when Spurs were fizzing balls into the box and he's just got that nick on it to make it a corner or put it out of play and everything. Yeah, there was a few fouls today, do you know what I mean? He probably got away without having a card, but it's unnatural and I know he gets a lot of stick because it doesn't look pretty a lot of the time. And yeah, I still think regardless of how well him or Rico play, City definitely need to go into the market in summer and get a right back to replace Kyle Walker. But from now to the end of the season, you know, whether it's Nunes or Rico there, I'm sure we can manage. I just want to say, Nunes, don't listen to people criticising, especially after today. Like I said with Edison before, make your, what even is the saying, make your praise as loud as your criticism, as your critics, whatever it is. I thought Nunes was solid today, as solid as he could possibly be. You've got to keep in mind, as I said, he's an attacking midfielder or a winger. You know, think of who we signed from Wolves, an attacking player, and he's been forced at fullback. Obviously, Bernardo Silva's filled in a couple of times all over the place, but not as a permanent position. That seems to be Nunes' permanent position. He doesn't get into the team unless he's at right back. So, yeah, Nunes, I thought today was solid. Now, look, I don't need to spend any more time talking about them two wingers, do I? I was waxing lyrical about them at the start of this video, but Jeremy Doku, once again, to what I say, people going on about end products at the end of that Liverpool game. I tell you what, how about that for end products? You know, the assist, the shot and goal. He was brilliant today. He's made himself undroppable. I said ahead of the game something that I don't often say about dropping Phil Foden, just because I thought out of all our attackers, he was probably the worst one. Against Liverpool, I thought after Doku's performance, he's got to start. You can't drop him. And I tell you what, I'll say that again. Maybe not for Plymouth. Obviously, the Plymouth game is just going to be sort of resting players, and you know we've still got to take him seriously and going with a strong team. But we can afford to rest a few of the big ones. You know, your Erling Haaland, your Ruben Diaz's, your Nico Gonzalez. You know, the players that you're going to really need. But as far as Forest, because that's our next tough test game, Doku has to start. It's as simple as that. He's made himself undroppable. Man of the match performance today. Honestly, I am so happy for him. I love watching that man play football. The way he runs with the ball, that quick turn of pace is beautiful to watch. And then the last player I want to talk about, saved the best till last, you know what I mean? Erling Haaland, back from injury. 2 goals, obviously one unfortunately ruled out, but yeah, he got the goal that counted, the goal that meant everything, back with a bang from his injury. Obviously missed 2 massive games, Madrid and Liverpool. It's not ideal, talk about bad timing. But I got a lot of criticism over on my TikTok, especially about saying about, you know, how I felt like it'd be a different game, that Liverpool one with Erling Haaland, how much of a threat he is in the box, the way that he doesn't even need to be touching the ball, and just how focused defenders are on him. He just sort of pulls players out of position for players like Marmoush or Doku or, you know, Savino to run into the space that he leaves. His presence alone is massive for the team, and I do feel like it'd have been a different game, City Liverpool, with him there, but we've let that one go. We've got to focus on the now and the future, and the now anyway. Erling Haaland, outstanding, put himself well as always, took his goals well. He was just brilliant, and I'm so happy to have him back. I wouldn't play him on Saturday. I would not. I would have him on the bench though, learn from Liverpool's mistakes. Well, yeah, we are going to, you know, rest a few of the players, like I said. Don't do what Liverpool did. You know, if we are somehow drawing or even losing when it comes to half-time, 60 minutes, we need the players there to bring on, you know, to try and save the game. I don't think we will be in that position, but we've got to respect the opponents. Plymouth, they did well to get past Liverpool. They'll give us a game, but I wouldn't start him. Not, you know, it's not worth the risk as far as injuries. You can put Marmoush up front, or even play, you know, Will Dixon or whoever. It doesn't matter. Will Dixon's not even here anymore. What am I on about? But you know what I'm saying? Play someone from the academy. Heskey, why not? But the point is, Erling Haaland, I'm waffling on now, was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm so happy to have him back. We've missed him. We've really, really missed him. Just his face when he scores, and that, it's just his whole presence. He's loved it. He has absolutely loved it. Here's to 10 more years, you know what I mean? And well, there you go. That's that. You know, fair play to Tottenham. Like I said, that second half especially is, you know, when he brought on Kulusevski and Son and Spence, and they were already on the front foot for a good 10 minutes before they came on. I was shitting it a little bit, I won't lie. I was dreading it. I was thinking they're going to hurt us here, they're going to hit us on a break, they're going to cause us problems. But City just did well. Tottenham also put up a good fight. And like I said in the preview, you know, I like this Tottenham side. I like the manager a lot. And they're a far better team than the league position suggests, you know what I mean? And I hope they win the Europa League. You know what I mean? Tottenham, fair play to them. They put up a good effort, and I'm just glad that City did exactly what we needed to do, you know, to see the game out, because it's something that we have really, really been poor at this season, seeing a victory out. 1-0, something that, you know, it's a rarity now, isn't it? So yeah, I'm proud of the boys, like I said. Outstanding performance. I've already spoke about the league position, saying about how, you know, I mean, Forest next, Arsenal have United as well, and as poor as United are, they sort of turn up in the big games, don't they? It's at Old Trafford, if that counts for anything anymore. So, you know, against Arsenal, so obviously it's a little bit away from the next Premier League match, but that's what my eyes are on. Obviously the FA Cup's exciting. I think I'd have been a little bit more excited if we got a little bit of a tougher draw and a game that I can really look forward to. But yeah, I'm just proud of them, boys, and I'm just happy. I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the performance. I'm happy with everything. So anyway, look, I'm leaving this one there. Thank you very much for watching. If you've not already, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. The next time you'll see me is tomorrow afternoon. The Plymouth preview FA Cup. Round 5, is it? I don't know. Round 5 anyway. The one before the quarter-final. That's how I see it. Yeah, I'll see you tomorrow for that one. Thank you for watching. And yeah, come on, City. Well in the boys.